And hello out there. I have no idea what my guest is, so I might be forming this a little while until our guest gets on and we talk about Operation Backbone, which is a very, very important topic to talk about because, yeah, it's interesting. Our counters are broke. Hello, G Webs and Iron Horseman and Joe Drag and everyone else there. Yep. Polymer 80. Yep, I wrote a new article today about Polymer 80 and what's going on with them, how California hit them with the subpoena, but they decided to non-comply with that, which is very, very good. They're committed to fight against that, and they're committed to protect your information. Most of the information is stored up on the cloud at Polymer 80, so when the ATF grabbed their computers, let me fix my camera a little bit. So when they grabbed the computers, they went ahead and didn't get most of the information because most of the information is on the cloud, which is really good. So there is that. So I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple things until my guest gets here. First, let's say that you bought a Polymer 80 and you are afraid of, hey, Gorillas and Guns, you want to jump in here? My guest has not shown up yet, but you're afraid that the ATF is going to raid you. Here is a few things that I learned. I talked to a bunch of attorneys, and they have stated that the people out there really have nothing to worry about. Chances of them actually prosecuting you is very, very small. So most of the time you're not going to get prosecuted. It's not gonna happen. What the ATF is doing, they're using the threat of prosecution to force compliance. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead. I'll hit you up on Facebook with the actual link to join in here. Yeah. So what they are doing is they're trying to force compliance with everyone out there, and they want you to turn in your stuff. So the most important thing with law enforcement is to remember to shut the F up, for one thing, and not talk to them, and get a lawyer. And if you are visited by one of these companies, go ahead and contact Gun Owners of America or contact me directly, and we will help you out with everything and hopefully save you some headache. So let's say you want to buy a Polymer 80 or some other type of frame and you are worried. I'm going to walk you through on how to do it and why it is important to have projects like Tusk. First, let me go ahead and say what Tusk is. Tusk is a cryptocurrency centered around the gun world. Most cryptocurrency takes like 20 minutes to a couple hours to process. Tusk, on the other hand, is instantaneous. And there's a lot of gun websites out there that are starting to accept Tusk and other cryptocurrencies. So if you want to be very, very safe, what you can do is you could buy like an 80% frame through a website that currently accepts cryptocurrencies, and there are some out there. I was surprised to find out that Phoenix Ammunition accepts cryptocurrencies. So what you do is use cryptocurrency to buy your 80% frame or 80% lower. And let me bring Silverback in. Hey, Silverback, what's up?
What's happening? Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm not really sure what happened to my guest. Guess they never showed on me, which is kind of weird. No, I got to cancel the show last week, so it might be a little miscommunication. We had to bump it to this week because some stuff was going on with my son when my son got bit by a bug. And okay, so we're talking about 80% frames and 80% lowers. I don't know if you saw, but I had another article come out today that talked about how Polymer 80 did not comply with the California ban. So let's go ahead and back up and talk about what the California ban was. Not ban, subpoena. California sued the ATF over their definition of firearms. California wants the ATF to consider 80% frames and 80% lowers firearms. Currently, the ATF does not, and if you look at internal documentation, it doesn't look like they're changing that anytime soon. California wants them to change that. Do I think it will change? I absolutely believe that it will change when the Biden administration comes in. So California issued a subpoena to Polymer 80. Polymer 80 told them to go pound sand. We're not complying with the subpoena. Go away, which is incredible that they did that.
Right.
They joined Brownells telling them, we're not giving you any information. Luckily, the ATF sucked at their job because they didn't get most of the information, because most of the customer information is backed up in the cloud and not stored locally, and they just got local computers. I do know from someone that they did get their gaming computer, but I don't think they realized they got a gaming computer. But they took a gaming computer, allegedly. But
Okay,
so, yeah.
well, that's good.
Yeah,
Shouldn't be any information stored on the gaming computer.
Maybe your Call of Duty stuff.
Yeah.
So I was talking to you about how to buy a polymer frame safely, and we're going to go over a couple different things. First thing is, like I was saying, Tusk or some other cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
That is not readily traceable. In all honesty, cryptocurrency, everything can be traced. It's just very, very hard, and because they have to have on the blockchain, you have multiple computers that are part of the ledger and stuff like that. So you would have to have a overwhelming amount of nodes to be able to track any transaction, which is not really feasible. So that's why it's safe. So people need to start using cryptocurrency out there for like purchases of parts and everything else. Would you agree?
Yeah, I mean, if it's not traceable, that's the best way to do it.
Not as traceable.
Right. I mean, I always use cash for everything. I like to buy locally versus over the internet. So
yeah, that's another thing you can do. You can buy locally. A lot of gun stores carry these. I don't think you're going to be able to find the build buy shoot kits very readily available at gun stores anymore. But you can buy everything. But you can buy everything separately, right?
Yep.
That's not a problem. That's not illegal. It's not even illegal to even own a build buy shoot kit. At least that's what we think. So you can buy locally. But if you're going to buy over the internet, have to buy over the internet, look for sites that accept crypto. I also think that more gun websites out there need to accept cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I mean, it's only good for them, especially with not only this happening, but with the fact that a lot of banks and credit card companies are not supporting those transactions as well.
In all honesty, I don't think that we're going to have a choice very much longer.
Right.
It's going to be cash or it's going to be cryptocurrency.
Yep.
I've actually bought a suppressor with cryptocurrency.
Nice.
Legally. Form 4 and everything.
Right. Okay.
I had to have a 5-hour energy because, wow, long days. Yeah. So I would say that people have to familiarize themselves with cryptocurrency. Go to Tufts.network. They are one of the sponsors of the channel, but they're a sponsor of the channel because I believe in what they're doing.
Right. Well, yeah, because they're gearing their stuff more towards the Second Amendment as well. Anyway, right? More towards firearms purchases and things like that too, right?
Yeah, and the founders and all the programmers, they're all gun guys. There's a few companies out there that already accepted it. In fact, I'm buying body armor from one of the companies that accept Tusk.
Nice.
And I know our friends over at Swamp Dog Armory, the makers of the Mandalorian rifle, they're going to be accepting Tusk.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of ammo companies out there that's going to be accepting Tusk as well. There's some stuff in the background I know about that I really can't give away.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's just getting caught up on the ammo in general anyway is going to be the hard part.
Yeah, but one of the companies that's going to accept Tusk and give you like a discount for accepting Tusk, they have ammo every once in a while.
Right, right.
They post on the line when they're going to have an ammo drop. In fact, they just sent me a bunch of ammo. They got my shipping notification today. 223. I mean, I paid for it. It wasn't like a sponsorship thing or anything like that.
Yeah.
If there is an ammo company out there that wants to send me ammo, I am willing to shill for ammo.
Me too. Me too.
I'm joking about that. Yeah.
But I'll take it. I mean, I might not shill for it, but I'll take it.
You should shill for it. There is another thing that you can do to protect yourself from the all-seeing eyes of the gun world. And you got to notice why I'm partnering with a bunch of the sponsors I am partnering with. I'm reaching out to them and pushing for them to come on as sponsors so I can give my watchers a little bit of a discount. And that is a VPN. If you go to crumpy.com/VPN, you can get a discount on NordVPN. I use a VPN. I use a VPN wherever because they're going to start tracking IP addresses. You're not anonymous on the internet. Basically, your ISP can see everything that you do on the internet. So if the ATF or another agency gets a secret warrant for a tap on your line, what they do is they do what's called like a fiber tap or whatever. And all the data that you're looking at or every website that you get data from, they're mirroring. So not only are you getting the data, they're getting the data. So you can see exactly what you're searching for and exactly what information you are getting. So that's where a VPN comes into effect. And I'm not talking out of hand. I know exactly what I'm talking about when it comes to this tech stuff. I designed a lot of the tech stuff.
Yep.
What a VPN is a connection to a remote server, like for example, NordVPN. And it's an encrypted connection. So basically, your computer or your network builds a encrypted tunnel to a NordVPN server somewhere else. And what that does is you send a request out, the request hits that server, and then that server requests the information that you're looking for. And then all that is sucked down the pipe and goes down the pipe into your computer, and your IP address is never attached to that, and all your information is never attached to that because it comes from a NordVPN server.
Yeah.
Or whatever VPN you choose, server. And none of the VPN companies keeps records. So even if they're asked, they really can't tell. And the randomization of it is they can't even tell like who actually requested the information. So that's where the randomization of the remote servers come into play. Another thing is that it also allows you to change your location. For example, Switzerland. You can use one of the servers in Switzerland. Switzerland is one of the most secure countries in the world for this type of stuff because their computer laws are so lax that they don't really give up information unless there's like an international war and stuff like that. So
yeah, they have a lot of peer-to-peer sites over there too.
Yeah, that's why. Because they're not going to give up any information just because of the U.S. search warrant or something. So if you connect to Switzerland and go out, that is incredibly safe. But there's another way that people can get hemmed up by the big brothers and the government, and that is via email. People don't realize that Gmail and all those other companies store your information. So if you use something Proton Mail is not a sponsor. I don't think they even sponsor anyone. But Proton Mail is an encrypted email service, kind of like Gmail, but it is over in Switzerland again, and they're committed to like full-on privacy. So you can go there to that email service, and then you can be assured that your email is really safe. A bunch of whistleblowers use Proton Mail. That's basically what Proton Mail is set up to do, is to make emails for whistleblowers.
Nice and secure.
Yeah. I mean, if you have nothing to worry about, you still have something to worry about with the ETF.
Yeah, and like you were saying with the using Gmail and stuff like that, those companies are so willing to give up the information to the government as well anyway. So yeah, it's probably a good idea if you have Gmail and you don't want to get yourself involved in that stuff to make sure you find a good email as well.
Yeah.
And get rid of your Gmail.
Also, with making phone calls and stuff, you have programs like Signal. Signal will encrypt your phone calls to prevent those nosy 3-letter agencies from listening in. So you have that. You have Telegram, which is another messaging software that's all encrypted and encryption. So there's tons of ways to protect yourself. Is any of it 100% foolproof? Of course not. The government wants it, they're going to get it, but you don't want to make it easy on them. You're going to make it as hard as possible. Not. You definitely want to make it hard as possible. All right, so that's all I have on the whole update on P80, what you can do to protect yourself, and everything else. Let's go ahead and talk about Virginia Reloaded. We're going to launch after the first of the year. It just works out better for the GOA schedule. You're going to have a Pennsylvania Reloaded, a GOA Reloaded. The Texas show is not going to be called Texas Reloaded because Dan Crenshaw already has that copyrighted. So they're going to have a different name. But all these GOA shows are going to be launching after the first of the year.
Nice.
They're going to be, and you're my co-host on that. And they're all professionally produced and everything else. So that is going to be cool. We recorded one episode that's in the can, but since the launch date got pushed back, I'm not sure how relevant that's going to be.
Right.
So it's probably going to end up being a practice episode.
Right. Well, at least we got to try it out and see how it works.
Or I might just throw it out on my channel.
Right.
Because it's a mixed right now with the whole name and everything else.
Right. Yeah.
Let me ask you this: why did you want to do it?
Why did I want to do it? I want to do it because I like to be involved, man. I like to get information and share information. So, it's only a good thing. And I really support the GOA. So to be involved with something that they're doing is really something I want to do, because, like I said, I always send out the emails when they ask me to do the emails and contact representatives. I have a partner link with the GOA through my channel as well. I really like to support the GOA, so if we can get some information out there that people don't already have, that's all the better.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. GOA is one of the only groups that is on the ground in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They did this big door-to-door door knocking last weekend and the weekend before. Jared from Guns and Gadgets was down there. There were some really big name people that were down there going door to door. What is Reloaded? Virginia Reloaded is the name of the podcast. We never explain what it is. Explain to them what Virginia Reloaded is.
Virginia Reloaded is the GOA podcast that talks about 2A news that's going on in Virginia and some other information that we can give you going on in the GOA world as well, right?
Yeah. Oh, PA, Pennsylvania Reloaded is going to be the Pennsylvania one, and that's actually the flag. Actually, not the flagship, but the first one that's going to launch is Pennsylvania.
Right on. And where can everybody hear it at?
I'm not sure if that's announced yet, so I'm not going to say anything right now. But it's going to be on Captivate FM. I can say that. But the links and everything will come out shortly. Dr. Val Pinnell is going to be the one hosting Pennsylvania Reloaded. Incredibly smart guy, incredibly pro-gun. He does a lot of veteran work. He meets with the White House a lot on veterans issues. Wow. Yeah, so he's going to be doing the one for Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania Reloaded will be the one that's going to be launching the whole entire project.
Nice.
I'm going to do
Pennsylvania. Go ahead.
I'm going to do a whole podcast on the different shows, but go ahead.
I was going to say, and Pennsylvania is under a little bit of scrutiny right now too, because I know they're getting some stuff being passed down along the lines, I guess, kind of similar to what Virginia went through.
Joe Drag, if you want to help in Pennsylvania, let me know. I can get you in contact with Val Pinnell, who is director. He's always looking for help. They do a lot of gun show stuff where they go and they get members at gun shows and also give out information about what's going on with gun laws in Pennsylvania at gun shows. So if you want to help him out, let me know. I can get you in touch with him, and I'm sure he'll get you to work. Yeah, it's so important to have these local shows. This is the reason why we're doing it, because a lot of people look at what's going on nationally and they don't see what's going on in their states. Luckily, our state, we have a pretty good local group in our state.
Yes,
probably one of the best local groups there is with VCDL.
Yeah, they are a great organization, and they always put together a lot of good stuff all year long to support the Second Amendment here in Virginia, and they keep everybody well informed. I mean, sometimes I get 4 emails a day from the VCDL with just the things that are happening.
But they're not like spamish emails.
No, it's just all information about what's going on, changes of things that are happening, meetings that are coming up for local gun control issues and things like that. I mean, it's all very informative information that they give out to you. So I mean, I like getting the emails. It gives me something to read that I haven't read already before from 10 million different sources, and it's something close to home for me because I live in Virginia. So
yeah. It's really funny. There's another organization that just put out a alert to the industry about the whole Polymer 80 raid, and some of the information is wrong. So let me. I'm sending an email as we're talking.
Okay.
So we don't act. GOA doesn't act on this. I'm just saying that, hey, hold off on anything. If some of this information wrong, I will send a follow-up email shortly. Dude, I'm not getting any sleep, man.
I know we were up pretty late the other day. Saturday night.
Yeah. Yeah, Saturday night we did a Christmas special, and after we went off the air, we didn't go to bed for another, like, my soundboard totally broke, so we had to end the Christmas special because my soundboard kept on having to be rebooted. What happened once we went off the air? How many times did it fail?
Zero. Yep. Somebody just didn't want you putting on your show.
Yeah, and we talked about Star Wars, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we talked.
You guys,
we talked a few more hours.
Yep.
And for people who are convinced that I don't have all this information, or I just throw everything out there that I get right away without researching it, I used Silverback, Argo J, G-Webs, and Budget Guns and Gear. I showed them some of the information that I had. So if anyone thinks that I just throw out information out there without researching it, I showed them information I had that I'm researching and other internal documents that no one has seen, that I think some of those would break the internet.
Yes, they would. And I'll tell you what, man, I just couldn't even imagine the stuff you were showing me. And I was excited about it for sure, but just seeing it put a lot of things in perspective. That's for sure.
Yeah. So, in the next couple weeks, I'm going to break the internet a couple more times for you guys. And G-Web says, yep. So G-Web saw that. So, like, I just got tired of it because people come and telling me, oh, you don't give up your sources. And I have good reason not to give up my sources.
Right. If you gave up your sources, you wouldn't have them anymore.
Yeah. And not only that, some of the information is too sensitive, or, it would narrow it down too much who my sources are. Right. So I take the information that I get, and then it lets me know where to look and where to put pressure at and what questions to ask. And then I get the information other ways that of information I already have, but it just lets me do that and protect all my sources. Mm-hmm. And I just got tired. So I'm like, you know what? Here, you guys can see it. And then if anyone ever tries to say that I don't know what I'm talking about, or I don't have the information, or I'm not researching my information, I have tons. I mean, we went through like a couple hours of just going through documents.
Yep.
And I think I kept on hearing, wow.
I felt like a government agent, digging through the classified reports,
Yeah, so I'm going to say there is a lot that's going to be coming out in the next coming weeks. And a lot of it, hold on, let me say, I can do a lot. Yeah, I don't know, like, a lot of people want me to do stuff. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really tired. So let's talk about a little bit of this. I'm so rambling here. I'm just so exhausted. Let's talk about you for a second. You are going to do, you're going to become a armorer, right? Or a gunsmith.
Gunsmith. Yep.
How close are you to completing it?
I'll probably be about a good 8 months away before I'm done.
How long is the program?
It actually takes about 2 years. If you space it out and take your time with it, it'll take about 2 years. But the way I've got it planned out, it should take me probably be between, like I was saying, 6 to 8 months. I
Why are you
just kind of
pushing?
started it. Huh?
Why are you pushing so hard to get through it?
I'm not really pushing so hard to get through it. I'm still kind of taking my time and relaxing with it. But the way it breaks down logically by the unit, because you read a unit and you take a test. So the way I'm looking at it is I'll read one unit a week and take one test a week. And there's, I don't know, I can't remember how many units, but I got two really thick 2-inch binders full of it. So if I do that, then I'm looking at, not very long. And if I decide to take a break in between, for a week or two or whatever, that'll give me a chance to take a break. But I mean, I just like to get things done. When I get my mind set on something, I just like to get it done. You know what I mean?
Yeah, what program are you taking, Chris? You make wants to know.
It is with Modern Gun School. It's their advanced gunsmithing course.
What do you plan on doing once you get done with it? Are you going to go start your own company? Are you going to go work for another company?
My ultimate goal is to work for myself for sure. But I may try to work for somebody for a little while just to gain a little bit more knowledge. I mean, I'm doing a lot of hands-on stuff now because with every lesson that I have so far, I've been able to get a hold of the firearms and break them down and work on them while I'm, going through the lesson. There's been a few that I don't have, some of these off-the-wall, older style model rifles that they're covering, but eventually I'll run into them, I'm sure.
Have you ever thought about using the modern firearm game?
Oh, the one you were showing me the other night?
Yeah.
Yes. When you showed that to me, I was like, man, that will probably come in very handy along with my course studies, because it breaks everything down in such a way that you would see it if you were literally there taking the gun apart physically.
Yeah, World of Guns is a great program. It shows you exactly how guns work and everything else like that. Christian Make is trying to decide between AGI or SDI. Are you familiar
SDI
with
is, yeah, I'm not really familiar with AGI. I'm on a gunsmith advice forum, and a lot of guys are like, AGI is a little hit or miss. SDI, from what I understand, is a pretty good school, but they're really expensive. So if you got 20 grand to shell out, SDI is the way to go. Me, on the other hand, I didn't have that much money, so I went with another really great option, which is Modern Gun School, which I think kind of gives you a little bit more information than you get out of SDI. SDI kind of focuses you down on a few subjects, but they dive really deep into those few things,
Yeah, Cody Slocum, Swamp Dog Armory, that's where he went. He went to SDI.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't do guns. I couldn't do gunsmithing. My hands are all trash.
Yeah, my hands aren't that great either after 30 years of working in the auto body industry. But I don't know. There's just since I started tinkering with firearms, there's just something about it to me that relaxes me when I'm doing it, and it keeps me patient and keeps me calm and level headed. So I've been enjoying it.
Yeah, I have nerve damage in my hands, so I don't have like full movement.
Yep.
That's why my handwriting sucks so bad. If you look at where I found my books at, because I have those all nerve
Right.
damage handwriting. They like shake. When I can shoot fine, but they just shake because of
Yeah.
nerve damage. Yeah, man. That's
I'm pretty
really,
shaky too. So
yeah. That is really cool. It's interesting how the Glock owners say that they never manufacture, they malfunction or break. but there's so many gunsmithing classes on how to fix them. And I think that's because there's so many Glocks out there.
Yeah, there's a lot of Glocks out there. They have Glock-specific armorers out there. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, anything that's got moving parts, it's going to break. It's going to fail at some point. No ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. Yeah. Well, I don't think our guest is going to show up today. So I'm probably
who was the guest?
The Operation Backbone guy. He's the Operation Backbone guy. They requested to come on the show, and then they no show.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah,
maybe he didn't know. Maybe he didn't know it was Eastern time.
Yeah, I think there was some type of mix-up, but whatever.
Yep.
So we're gonna have Cody Slocum later on in the week because our Mandalorian raid will finish, and hopefully this time the person pays. Tomorrow we actually have a very interesting guest.
And who's coming on tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've been up way too long. I know exactly who's coming on tomorrow, though. JFD Supply, which is very topical because they make 80%.
Okay.
But for on the PSIG platform, so we're going to be talking to him about what he thinks about what's going on, and if the ATF has visited him, and maybe we'll be able to bring some new news about other stuff in 80%.
I actually looked at those P320 polymer 80 lowers, and I almost got one. They are pretty nice looking, and it would just add a touch of flair to the gun, that's for sure.
Chris Shoemake is talking about his Canik TP9 XFX. I gotta contact the guys over at Canik to get one.
That gun is amazing. I have one myself. I just put a ADE red dot on that thing, and I'll tell you what. Oh God, I put that thing in my hands, and it's amazing. It's like walking on sunshine.
Yeah, the Canics are just are really, really good.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going around about Canics, especially like the TP9 series, saying that you can only run 124 grain ammo through it, which is just not true. You can run whatever ammo you want through it, but it does like the 124 grains better, especially when you first get the gun out the box and you start shooting it. Probably best to shoot your first few 100 rounds with the 124 grain before you switch down to 115 or go to any other grain ammo.
Yeah, most people use 115 though, so why wouldn't they design the gun to use 115?
I never had any problems with it, with any grain, but most of it comes from a lot of preference as well too. So I mean, if you prefer a heavier grain bullet, you're naturally going to gravitate towards that as well. But I don't know, maybe it's got something to do with the heavy action or the heavy spring in the gun. You can buy a lighter spring for like competition shooting, which would probably work better for the lighter grain.
Hey, Chris Sherman, if you have that video, if you want to link it in the chat, go ahead and link it and get you some views on it. Like of my 2 viewers for each video I have, you might maybe one of the viewers. Well, actually, I guess since you're one of the viewers, one of the other the only other viewer I have could probably watch it.
Yeah, and it's got such a long barrel on it too, man. That gun. Yeah, you could reach out and touch someone with that sucker.
Yeah, you probably could.
But I mean, I love shooting it. The balance is It's very well balanced. It's very lightweight. I mean, the weight of the gun, you don't really feel it when you're holding it because of how well balanced it is, and the grip and everything. To me, it fits my hands very well. The first time I picked it up, I said, I know I'm going to own this gun.
All right, that works. Kirsten said he shot about 4K of 115 grain. So with that, I hate to cut this short, but I'm getting more breaking information as we're on here. So I'm probably going to have to go deal with that, which just kind of sucks. But
wait, you mean you get information, John? There's no way.
Yeah, there's got some stuff that might be like really breaking. Yeah. Huh. Interesting. All right. So with that, we're going to end this a little bit early because my guest didn't show up and I have breaking news.
Right on. So, I got to get into the grocery store anyway and get some supper.
Cruppy.com. You can check out all my stuff. And Gorillas and Guns, tell people how they can find you.
You can find me here on the YouTubes at Gorillas and Guns. You can find me on Facebook at Gorillas and Guns. You can find me on Patreon at Gorillas Guns /Patreon, whatever.
And I am a Patreon of him.
Yes, you are, and I thank you very much for that. That's awesome. And you can find me on Black Swan Tactical. I got some gear up there, some nice shirts. If y'all want to swing by Black Swan Tactical and buy some shirts, and you can help Bella out at the same time.
Yep, the shirts are pretty damn awesome. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring this down. Thank you for watching. I know the show's been kind of discombobulated. I'm trying to do other work while doing this, and it's just not working out too well. All right, so I'm back. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be more rested tomorrow. I planned on taking the night off, but I'm going to be on Kevin Dixie's show, and with this new information, I might not be off tonight.
Right.
But hopefully I'll get some rest. All right. See you guys.
Take care.